didn't give it to me. So I gravitated to the female species, looking for just a kind word, a caress, kiss on the cheek, you know, just a feminine touch. Mama didn't have my mama, so I would do that. Well, of course, one thing leads to another, you get involved. Way past what you ought to be involved in. Amen. And the worst thing you can do, you might think it's desirable. Worst thing you can do before you ever get married is to get involved in sex. Worst thing in the world. I don't care what anybody says. The only reason people say okay to it is because they want to indulge. But what it can do to you. So what happened, I got involved with all these girls, trying to seek love, but sex is not love. Sex is sex. You don't spell L-O-V-E-S-E-X. So anyway, I got involved with these girls over time. And then the day came when I got married. So I'm just going to use this as an illustration. So for all of our internet viewers and first-time visitors and ultimately TV viewers, these ladies that I'm going to use were not the ones. But I want to use a visual. I want it to be visual. Okay? So I got involved with these girls. So I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And just like in the natural, if you look at all 6 of these ladies sitting here, they all look different. Because they're unique, each and every one of them, just like you are unique. And so I got involved with this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one sexually. Well, you can't get closer to someone than sex. That's an amalgamation of 2 spirits, 2 souls, 2 minds, 2 people. And what happens is when you leave that relationship, you take some of her, and her, and it screws you up. Where? In your sex organs? Here, in your head, in your mind. And it's your mind that controls your sex organs. So when I got married to this woman, she wasn't any one of those 6. So at first I had a real challenge because out there in that promiscuous environment, all 6 of these would do anything you could come up with, anything you could think of, you know, they were willing to do. And so you get fixated on those things, thinking, I have to have this, and I have to do this in order to have a satisfying relationship sexually, which I shouldn't even been involved in the first place. So then I married this woman, and I wanted her to be her, and her sexually. So I had to deal with that. When I would caress and hug her, I was caressing one of them. When I would lie down with my wife, I'm thinking about one of them and the way they did. Well, my wife was not them, and she didn't want to do those things that them did. So then my head really got screwed up. Come on. Really got mad. Boy, you talk about battle of the mind. And I was frustrated in a relationship, no fault of hers, but all because of an out-of-control mind. It was all about remembering about them 6. Them, they're for them, the ones over there. And so what happened, I had to come to grips with that early on. I found out I had to take control. It was all a mind thing. So when I learned how to walk by faith, learn how to walk by the word, I began to confess over my wife, but it really wasn't for her benefit. It was for my benefit to get me straightened out. So I thought if God could work on my wife to get my wife to be like them, then I would be happy and satisfied. Ain't no use rolling your eyes at me. Some of you know just what I'm talking about. Oh yeah. And so I began to pray, and I began to say, Father, I thank you. I began to make a confession. I began to say, Father, I thank you. I have the very best wife in the whole world. I have the best wife in every category. She's a wonderful mother anyway. There was no problem with that. Wonderful helpmeet, taking care of me in all the other areas. And also in reference to sex.